Hello. Um, let's go back at Officer Frontal Home. Around that time, Chris Emerson and Toby them, Chris Brown them was just running around doing things they had no business doing, along with CC. Terry was around with just Usher and so forth. Master P was around and Corey Miller and Silk the Shock and them and Bruno Mars and Birdman and Cardi B, Offset. It was just numerous people was always around. Off and on, Snoop Dogg was always around, which is Calvin Brody. That's it. He was always around. Cameron the rapper was always around. I had my sons and everything was going and this and that. Now, a situation had occurred. Now, this guy named Amp, they called Anthony, was dating this girl they called Kim Claiborne. But I had already met Amp before. When I was like about 10 or 11 years old, I met him at McDonald's in East St. Louis that sat on St. Louis Avenue, by the old KFC. Now, that McDonald's now is 618 Studio, and across the street it turned into a Chinaman. A Rice House, as they would call it in the hood. So, but that was just like pretty much it. And that other man that was part of my kidnap used to have a lot of people lying and this, that, and the other. And he was keeping up a lot of chaos in the Midwest. He was prejudiced. He didn't care about who got what. He didn't care about the chaos he caused. He didn't care about the pain he received by doing the things he did. He didn't care. He didn't care about stealing or doing all that other stuff. He was just trying to get in where he fit in, to find some way to cover up what his true intentions were. But the thing is this: when they had me, they thought I was dead, and they thought my daughter was dead. Just so happened, Chris Brown knew I wasn't dead, he said. And one thing after another. But let me get to this. Well, all this was on, I had came out of there a little later and this, that, and the other, but some of them actually thought I was deceased. They was making plans and talking about what money they was going to get, talking to our Anthea, and all of them had already been plotting anyway. Now before that happened, Master P was having sex with our Anthea all the time too. Kevin Gates was. Now, our Anthea dated Kevin Gates' daddy. Even though he was telling everybody Willie was his granddaddy, but that was his daddy. And stuff like that. Master P first used to be act like every time he came around, he's like, oh, family in the house and this, that, always coming around happy. And, he was helping me with one of my church's chickens, and everything was kind of okay. For some odd reason, some just went astray, like went to the side. And I asked him, who was that man that came from Louisiana in that police car my church's chicken? Because the local police department in East St. Louis said that when I went up there. They was like, wait, let you drive your car away from Louisiana to Illinois? And we're like 10 minutes away from from St. Louis, Missouri. What's going on? So I don't know what that conversation existed of. I'm sitting out there on my lot. He and Master P was in there crying. This is in the 80s. They in there talking about some money and this, that, and the other. And that police officer that worked for East St. Louis Police Department had caught them too. Now I'm going to tell you who it was. It was Sergeant Randolph. So they talking stuff, and Sergeant Randolph, when they saying stuff, he informed them about me being a law enforcement. Because Master P was saying some fly stuff too, and they was trying to act like they was over talking me and Sergeant Randolph. So Randolph was like, look, he told me he only work in the juvenile division, but they need to get off that stuff. He said, I know doggone well y'all didn't come all that way. And then he went off on Master P. He said, you've been around here, around this area, you're doing right, you're getting your life together. What are you doing? You know, and the other man was like, well, this, that, and the other. And they was talking about how he supposed to play basketball and some stuff went down and he supposed to stole somebody other identification or something, his cousin or brothers or something. And it ended up somewhere that wasn't nobody around at that time but him. Okay, that's what that was. That's all I knew. So everything has just started getting a little wild. Master P going around telling everybody how he not no kin to me and this, that. I'm like, they already know y'all, you want no kin to me. You know, what's the stress part about that? Everybody already knew that. He got to talking about, well, this. I said, let me tell your ass something. I had been holding my own before you even showed up at my damn door. And everybody else was like, he said, yeah, whatever, probably because he was just like, kind of, I said, I don't know what the hell you on, but you gonna go and get up off of there with me. You know, whatever your situation is. And he just kept like trying to make up stuff, and one particular time we had got into it. And I had tore his ass up. Yeah, his balls and everything was swole. He didn't know what to do. I'm talking about for almost 24 hours. So, anyway, all that, you know, little stuff like that was going on. Then I had beat up Birdman, and I had beat up Diddy, and it was just all tight. They just like, they was just challenging me. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? You know, what they want y'all going on about y'all business? They want to hook, y'all always come to see me because I don't know where the fuck you lay your head at. Now, I knew where Corey was, C Murder was at. He used to lay his head down with me. I know where Chris Brown was at down the street. Lord and them. Lord be over there. You know, me and Lord had our 2 sons and all this other stuff. And everybody kept asking me, yeah, where the fuck do you be going? So it was actually about something that Master P did. Corey, Silk the Shocker, their sister, their other brother, they hadn't did nothing. And Corey and Master P lied and kept saying their brother was dead and this, that, and the other. But Silk the Shocker was like, he ain't dead. Why you lying? And then he came up. He's like, here I go. He said, I'm telling Mama, you what the hell you bring me here for anyway? And up here doing this and that. That he was the one always getting into it with Master P. So Silk, all them arguing and this, Silk the Shocker, they all arguing and this. That's before they even got, you know, started using those stage names. So make a long story short, a lot of things had occurred. Let's get back to their funeral. So, you know, once I got up and they got me out them clothes and whatever, I was so furious I had punched a hole in that wall at Officer Funeral Home. And one of the men worked down there. They was like, woo, girl, those strong ass. He said, you would have hurt somebody with that fist. Cause I mean, yeah, because that wall hard as he was like, how the hell? And he was holding me, telling me, calm down. He said, cry, let it out. That's what's wrong with you. He told me I need to cry. And I felt a little bad about it. I was pissed. I said, where my baby at? Corey sitting there. He was like, she okay. Our baby okay. And this, and that. And so by this time, Master P looking like kind of mad or whatever. I'm like, damn, motherfucker, you wanted me dead? That's what the fuck is wrong with you? I said, now what you do, you have your own and dismiss your own. That's what the fuck you do for you and yours. Because so I'm going off on everybody. By this time, everybody outside, they doing this and then, like I told you, you know how people be standing around, they actually thought I was deceased. They had me actually in the freezer at Officer somewhere. I don't know if I was actually at Officer Funeral Home at first, but I was in the freezer. And I woke up. I knew I was going in there. And I remember them putting the bag on me and all that stuff. And the man that was the coroner, the deputy, them, they know me too and what be wrong with me. They was like, and I was hearing them, but I was like, I couldn't really, And then when I got in the freezer, they put me in the freezer, I end up getting myself out of there. I was like, and I opened the thing up because it doesn't really it don't lock anything, it's right there. No froze freezer where they put bodies in don't lock, okay? There's no need for it, just open it up. And I had opened up and slid myself out. And it was another day. He was like, I knew she was all right. I knew it. And he was like, I was like, I need to get. And then they gave me all my medicine and hooked my baby up. And they was like, oh, the baby out. They told my daughter died. And it was like, she back. That's your baby. We knew it was your baby. And I'm still kind of out of it. And they still up doing it because the way everybody was acting. Now, next thing I know, I have severe allergies, And then you know what? I'm actually doing pretty good right now, as you see. So, anyway, next thing I know, Ducci out there talking to Amp. Amp steady at me. And I had already beat up Amp before that. I told you I had been fighting all of them. Well, pretty trying to take care of my babies. I had them beat up Wanda. The one they call Wanda Liddell, Robin Boyd, Carmen. The one they call Carmen Quinn and CC and them. And, they was over there trying to fuck over my sons and all this shit. And it was just so much. And then they lied, talking about I did this. And I hadn't did shit to them. So don't you see what they did to my babies' faces? They had Bird, Dior, and Lil Chris. And T was right there, which they call Bow Wow. His mama was over there too, telling us how she loved her own baby. But you get your motherfucking son. Because I'm steady going off about this shit. And that's what made Jermaine Dupri come back around. What the hell they on? That's when LeBron James and everybody hardened them. After that happened, that's when everybody else had started coming around now. Michael Jordan was around, and Scottie Pippen them, and everybody, and that's when 2 Chainz had started coming back around and all that shit because everybody knew that bullshit that Birdman and Cardi B was on. And Offset. Offset kind of in the middle with them. But Offset ain't shit either. Offset, come to find out, was living in my Cottonwoods, hadn't gave me a dime of rent. Somebody died, supposed to left Cardi B or him some money. He supposed to gave me $25,000. I said, yeah, mama, he talking shit to me, talking about, oh, you this, till he found out I owned all the major recording labels, and he kept trying to change up, and that was around the time he donated that money to Ellen, to the Ellen show. Remember the episode? Look on YouTube. And all my employees looking like, huh? They was like, why you just didn't give her money you owe her? And then Offset didn't have no contract with me no more. He slid himself in there trying to call themselves the Migos. So, it's over with. I told him it was over with then. Then the Migos come out, I'm looking. I'm like, that's Offset. And he just eased his way on in, Offset don't give a fuck about shit for real. Not for real, for real. Just enough to make it seem like he care. Like you say, you can't talk about the pot if you can't talk about the kettle. Because all of them roll together. So, next thing I know, all this thing, going back to the 80s now. So all this other stuff had been going on. Okay. Now, so we had to go to the funeral. So Amp was talking about kidnapping my sons and and Ducci like, man, what the hell is no man and this, and I was walking up, so he got mad at Ducci. Because Ducci was like, man, and this and this, they up there plotting on me the whole time. So next thing I know, I move on Gady Avenue. And I seen this other dude. I'm like, Amp got a brother. Because when the other Amp came over there, I'm like, you ain't the same dude. And Kill Claiborne said the same thing. They playing motherfucking games. So Keith Claiborne, Mike, everybody else was like, that ain't the same. He was like, nah, that probably was my cousin. But he said, why that dude at? And then Childress, when they called Childress, used to work for EAST.ST.LOUIS Police Department, knew that too. Because she kept asking Amp them where their mama was at. Okay? So she had been on to them about something because they could never tell nobody where their mama was at. That's what she was saying. And she's supposed to have called up with her somewhere or whatever. Anyway, so all that stuff was going on. So this time I had to move on Gady. You know, I had to have my baby. I was pregnant when I first moved over there. And Terry was up there doing the floors, and Chris Brown had bought all my kids' toys over. They had like 2 trucks full of their games, toys, clothes, and everything. We just had needed some help to get it. And Kevin Gates kept trying to get money for doing the job he really didn't want to help do no damn way. Bring 1 or 2 things up and tell me he finna go. You know, getting an attitude, telling Yvette he need to get him some more money and all this type shit. All the time, it was him too going back and forth over there, telling Snoop Dogg and Nipsey them stuff. You know, his mom and them kept telling him to get off their bullshit. You know, they say if you don't, they say you going on with your gal, cause you keeping up too much shit. And they was talking about his gal Draco. So anyway, next thing I know, they come over there. Amp sitting up there looking all sad or whatever, because at the same time Corey mad. We outside, the kids playing, and Dior, you know, my kids, you know, Dior and little Chris, they used to have snakes and toys, and he always had his little snakes or whatever, real snakes. Everybody was like, them kids got girl. So, you know, we was sitting on the porch, and Corey was laying back on the porch. And he was mad. Because he didn't know what the fuck. And Silk the Shocker had came over there. He was like, man, they was like, what peon, man? Why everybody calling him that for anyway? He said, mama said the same thing. What he doing? You know, he said, where he be at anyway? I said, he went over here with us. Because me, the kids, and Bruno, and Corey was here. I'm like, I don't know. And Silk the Shocker was down there with Benita. And, you know, because everybody was like, cool, we just kick it on Gady. We ain't got to go down there no more, you know, for real. So, you know, those are type things. And Corey had went off on Amp them. He was like, man, y'all, what the hell y'all coming over here for? Y'all started all that shit. Y'all wanted my baby mama dead. Y'all with my gal. Y'all doing all this shit. Where the hell y'all getting that shit from? Where y'all know her from? She don't even deal with y'all. And that's what pissed him off. You know? And that's what had happened. You know? And every time stuff was going on, I'm like, why the hell does Amp keep calling himself getting mad at me? When all the time it's Kim Claiborne. But Kim Claiborne said it was Amp too. And we done proved it too many times. Every time Amp thinks something was going on with me, for real, he really didn't care, because somebody else brought up another situation to him. Nelly did. You know. And Amp won't do nothing for nobody for real, or help nobody unless somebody give him some money or this, that, and the other, you know, saying all that other shit, be talking shit like Birdman. You know. So Kim Claiborne had came by one day and she asked Corey, because she talked to me. He was like, I ain't come. I came up out. She was with Keith Claiborne, her brother, and Mike. It's hard now. So we were sitting outside that evening talking. And somebody came up, and it was a little altercation, but it was Amp now. Now we thought it was, but it was Steve that was with him too. You know, quick as he Steve that dated Rihanna, dated Riri. So they up there laughing and playing, talking, oh no, we really want to try it. I say, and Corey was like, go on with that mess. Y'all, what you mean trying to do what? You know, he still was pissed. So Kim was explaining. She was like, no, Amp did this, and Amp was saying that too. And that's when all of them got together and did this, and that. And then she took up for P. Because she was like, Pete was like, he told, because Kim Claiborne, he said she was crying, or well, she was laughing at first. Then she started crying because Kim Claiborne, he was like, oh, mama gonna put you in jail. He was like, mama gonna get you. Mama gonna get you, Kim. She gonna get you. And she was like, but can't nobody die like that, and this, that, and the other. And this and I say, Kim, they had me in the freezer. What is you talking about, me and my babies? And she took off crying. Then Mike got kind of mad. I guess he was just trying to see what Kim would do. And she kept on crying. He was like, oh no, she crying for real. And their mama was pissed off. And then they was still around. Another altercation happened with Mike. And that's when she went on to move to St. Louis, because she told the police to lock Kim up for going along with that shit, for the shit they did with my other baby. They had buried my baby alive in the backyard over there. My son I had by Lord, my baby. Then they did, then I had my daughter. And she said she was tired of Kim shit. Where the fuck is she getting that from? And she told them to lock her daughter Kim up, Kim Claiborne, and her son Mike. You know. So she moved to over in Missouri, because she was like, she know damn well she was in Missouri where they really was living at before they other fucking asses been gone. Cause you don't do no shit like that to nobody. And then she told on Cheryl ass too. And she went off the hell on Cheryl. And she went off on Tammy and Miss Spencer and them and Bo Champ and them too. And that's when Poochie and the rest of them was like, what's really going on? Because all those was arguing. Then they came over there. We was sitting out there. I had went over to 1255. I was sitting there. And he was like, well, I was finna leave. They said, let me talk to you for a minute. And this, that, and the other. And then Amp came up running up trying to grab me. And I slammed and flipped him on his back. And Poochie grabbed him. What the fuck is you mad at everybody? Don't nobody know your ass over here and this, that, and the other. So that's who we thought it was, him. Then there was that other dude that kind of looked like Amp that PDQ'd him, know too. So everybody got to asking Amp, is you a vice lord for real or something? What the hell is you on? Is you and you? It was like you and Ducci, y'all wild as hell. They just wanted to know. Because Poochie all them had bought us some shit around when Amp kept saying he was a GD. And they asked him again, where you get that book from? Because Poochie friend was going around. He was acting like he was kin to everybody, just keeping up a bunch of shit. And he ended up getting beat up and robbed, and some other stuff had done happen on that side. And Amp had ended up with the stuff. And Poochie kept asking him, where you get that stuff from? He said, you can't blame nobody for the stuff you doing, because ain't none of us hung with you. What made you start coming around anyway? And Amp didn't say nothing. He kind of cried a little bit and walked off. Then I told the other dude to come up. Now the other dude knows Shorty, PDQ baby mom, one they call Shorty, that girl they call Shorty, Michelle Wiggins or whatever, and know Cece and Keisha Hudson them. Because she asked him too, was he some kin to Amp? Because every time something go on, you will see either him or you will see Amp. And Amp kept getting mad at me, telling some dog, you don't know, but he get around with everybody else and be laughing about the shit with Cece though. The same Cece be yelling Vice Lord this and he hollering GD that. I said, well, y'all, whatever y'all,